Hello everyone! The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip. Also want to point out, and I know you know this, but written by a woman, directed by a woman.
I think the direction is fantastic, by the way.
And that cinematography. But cinematography, by the way, is done by a Horror Queers podcast alum, Pavel Pogorzelski, who is a frequent collaborator with Ari Aster on Hereditary and Midsommar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yep, exactly. As soon as you hear it, you're like, oh.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he'd also shot some episodes of Hannibal.
Right? Yeah, because even the way that the food is visually presented in this film, I'm like, oh, okay, this looks a little familiar.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I was really hungry watching a lot of this movie.
You're gross. You're nasty.
Okay, so here's the thing. And y'all might cry foul. Y'all meaning you and the patrons. If I was presented human meat in a very, very delicious, tasty looking plate, and there were no repercussions for my actions, and I wasn't going to get arrested, and it wasn't someone that I knew, I would probably eat it. As soon as she runs to the bathroom and she starts throwing up that meatball, I was like, girl, it's food, eat it, it's fine. But
it's not like she's starving. She doesn't need it in the same way.
But it probably did taste really good. But
no, I'm sure it tasted fucking amazing. It's just the moral quandary of like, no, this was another person.
Well, and so that you don't think that I'm a monster, like I wouldn't have been eating Molly's breast. I would have thrown that up. If I had like your penis on a plate and I found that out later, I would be throwing that up. Because it's like...
Because you knew that person.
If you had a cow... Well, I guess some people do eat their own cows. But like if I had a cow, I wouldn't want to eat the meat off of my cow.
Right. Yeah. Now, it's funny because I knew for sure as soon as I saw this film back in January, I thought, okay, we're going to watch this. Trace is going to tell me he would eat at least one of these dishes because, not because I think you're a monster, but because you have repeatedly talked about how you will eat anything. You will always try something. And frankly, that meatball does look delicious. But the color shading on it looks so red. I'm just like, oh, that is a person.
Well, it's so funny because we're dropping this episode the same week that we are discussing Death Drop Gorgeous on the main feed. And there's some similarities, right? Because we also have a meat grinder that makes ground up meat. And also a new way to eat ass in both movies.
There we go. Yeah, we're breaking new boundaries all the time on the podcast.
All the time. But yeah, I had to get that out because I was just like, God damn, like I know he's a creep. I know I shouldn't want to eat human meat, but I'd do it. I would totally do it.
Yeah, of all the options, I think either the meatball or when he shaves the leg after his run and it kind of looks like prosciutto, I would maybe try the prosciutto leg. Maybe. I would definitely not eat the breast.
Well, because the breast, oh god, what are they? It has like the... Oh, that's fine. Whatever. The fat. It's like sections. Like it's not fat glands, but it's whatever is in there.
Yeah. No. No. Thank you.
But thank you. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's stay on food, but let's go to slightly more socially acceptable dishes.
Atlas Avenue. A long stretch of road that encompasses everything the city of Kennett Heights has to offer. Neon lights, traffic, crime, the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and the craziest of characters. My office was above it all. My name is James Locke, and I'm a PI.
Hello, Mr. J. How the hell you doing today?
Good, Edith. Nearly every year I have a new case. New people to meet, new clues to discover, and new problems to solve. But I do it the old-fashioned way. No technology. Nothing post-1950. Hell, I don't even listen to podcasts, but you should. Atlas Avenue Beat is a spoof of the film noir genre with goofy characters, tons of wordplay, and non-stop raunchy humor. There's also 3 whole seasons out right now with more on the way. Just search for Atlas Avenue Beat wherever you listen to podcasts or visit us online at bloody.fm.
Hello, I'm Shelby Scott, the host of Scare You to Sleep, a podcast where I tell you spooky bedtime stories full of creepy sound effects and music that is soothing yet unsettling to help immerse you into a world of horror. This is a show for those of us who have realized horror can be a strange but relaxing escape from reality. Speaking of escapes, sometimes I lead you through guided nightmares, like a guided meditation, but instead of flowery meadows, I take you on a journey through your own personal nightmare. So come get lost in the terror with me. Listen to Scare You to Sleep wherever you listen to podcasts, or find us online at bloody.fm. Sweet screams.